the project itself is funded by the USDA's Beginning Farmer Rancher Development Program. We were funded in 2010 in the fall, and one of the major aims was to develop this coalition. And the coalition has not only grown, it's really come together to accomplish the subsequent aims, which are our accomplishments to date. And that would be to develop collaboratively our whole farm planning curriculum. And whole farm planning itself is not a new concept, but it's bringing a more comprehensive approach to beginning farmer education and training. And we have developed 5 modules that really capture that whole farm planning, framework. And we have collaboratively done that. Through the coalition, our stakeholders have worked together throughout the last year to really come to create those modules. And now we have 7 teams on the ground implementing the modules through different type of education models, which is really the interesting part. I mean, the idea is that the coalition teams themselves have their own communities that they work with, and they have their own beginning farmer audiences. So we create as a whole the collaboratively developed curriculum that can be implemented based on site-specific needs and site-specific interests from the audiences. With the coalition, we have about 25 different organizations and farms that make up the group. And with that group, we have, representation of different types of stakeholders. I kind of put those in 5 different kind of categories based on who they represent. And people wear different hats, but primarily we have Virginia Cooperative Extension, and that makes up our agents and our specialists across different programming areas from Virginia Tech and Virginia State University. We also have our institutions of higher education like Virginia Tech and Virginia State. That said, there may not be necessarily extension faculty or staff. These are folks who contribute to the curriculum development, for example, through their expertise. And some may or may not have an extension appointment. But nonetheless, we're coming together to work towards those aims. We have another category of our non-governmental organizations, and we have several different groups across the state who have been working towards new farmer education for many years, and those would include Farm Bureau's Young Farmers Committee in program. We also have Appalachian Sustainable Development. Another example would be the local food hub in Charlottesville and Fauquier Education Farm up in Fauquier County. Several others. Those are just a couple examples. We also work with farms directly who are working farms, both beginning farmers as well as established farmers. And it's really important that they represent on the steering committee as well as on our coalition, who come together to help make programming and project aims come together. It's really important to have that direct input. And that would, we have Scott Sink through Heathwood Market, and he has several different farming operations in the Montgomery County. Megan Seibel, who is also a farmer in the Botetourt County. We also have one of representation from Elvin and Nina Blaha in the southeast part of the state, who is an established farmer who represents that piece, and several others. And so we've been very fortunate that piece has really come together since the beginning of the project. And then we also have representation of government agencies, both local, state, and federal. So that has been, again, another wonderful contribution to the coalition based on their input and stakeholder, perspective. That would include FSA, Rural Development, NRCS, as well as some Virginia Department of Agriculture, as well as the Fauquier County office. We have our agricultural development officer and several other local offices who are interested. We have one particular program on the ground working directly through the Fauquier County.